All right, guys, this is the review for your final exam for CMT 140, Frederick Community College. Let's jump right into it. Before we get into that, just remember, so half of your exam is going to be multiple choice questions based on this presentation. All right, this is understanding construction drawings. I'm going to ask you, I'm not going to ask you anything new. These are things we've been reviewing for weeks. Shouldn't be there's no guesswork to it. There's no surprise. I'm not trying to trick you guys. Remember, the key to building is understanding where to find information. That's it. I'm not asking you guys to memorize anything. I just want to make sure that you know where to find the information that you need in order to accurately and quickly build any project you're working on. Having said that, so we're going to go through, this is the multiple choice section. The second half of your final exam will include drawings and finding information in the drawing. So I'll ask you a few questions. Hey, find the post size for P3 or whatever. And you'll have to know where to go to find that information. Or I'll ask you, what is the subflooring thickness for the first floor? It's all based on the house that we've been using. So you should be familiar with those plans. You've already got access to them. It shouldn't be any guesswork to it. It should simply be going to the plans, finding the appropriate page, finding the information, and then answering the question based on that information. Shouldn't be tough. I will not be logging on Monday night. Well, I take that back. I'll be traveling to New York. I'm hoping to log on Monday night. So after you review this, if you have any questions, you can log on, ask me the questions. Even if it's only audio, I'll be on there. So anyway, I will get your final exam to you by the end of the week. You'll have 2 weeks to do it. You can send me the first section and then the second, or you can send it all to me at the same time. I don't care which, but they are all due by, I want to say December 14th. When I send you the final exam information, all the due dates and all that will all be included in that. So there won't be any surprises or guesses. But I will try to give you a minimum of 2 weeks to get it done. I don't believe it'll take you 2 weeks, but with the holidays in there, that gives you some flexibility to get it done. Anyway, let's get into the presentation. So we're going to talk about plans. So history of construction drawings. So we looked at this in the very beginning. This is the plan of St. Gall Monastery. This is the oldest surviving architectural plan we have. It was drawn in the 19th century, and it was never actually built, unfortunately. I'm sure it would have been a very awesome drawing or building. The crazy thing about this drawing is it actually shows buildings and gardens on the same drawing, but usually don't. Usually it's one or the other, but that's all right. It's great. It's a great drawing. I wish I had the original. Anyway, so until the mid-19th century, draftsmen copied plans by hand. You can imagine how expensive that was and how time-consuming. The blueprint was trademarked in 1842 by John Herschel when he created the cyanotype, I'm not sure if I'm even saying it right, process. This allowed plans to be reproduced chemically. Huge game changer. It saved money and time, but we didn't stop there. Enter AutoCAD, computer aided design. Construction drawings can be created and printed very easily. Revisions can be done very quickly without replacing the entire set of drawings. That's huge. Their cloud-based data storage allows us to access plans from anywhere without having to physically store them on site. If you've ever been in a construction trailer, a lot of times there'll be a room filled with paper drawings, and you'll have to hire somebody just to manage those drawings. It's very cumbersome, and it's not a good use of our time. Anyway, with cloud storage, you can literally have all the building plans you could ever want in the palm of your hand. You can view them on a smartphone, a tablet, on your PC, whatever. .dfw, that is drawing exchange format. This is a graphic image used with AutoCAD, and that's how most plans are delivered. So you have to have a special reader on your laptop or whatever in order to see them, unless they're in PDF form. Drafting standards, there are two. ANSI, the American National Standards Institute, commonly used inside the United States and therefore best. And then there's the ISO, International Organization for Standardization, used by the rest of the world. These There are some architectural firms in the United States that use ISO just because they want to be different or because they do international business and they need to conform with international standards. Either one is fine. ANSI is just what we're used to in the United States. All right, types of drawings. So there are a bunch of different types of drawings. So we have preliminary drawings. These drawings help to formalize design concepts and elements between the architect and the owner. These are not meant for construction. They're often missing their mechanical, electrical, plumbing drawings and structural details. Preliminary drawings are really just to capture ideas. You know, your architect and your owner are just kind of going through the motion of what do you want in this building? The owner tells them, the architect draws it, and we have our preliminary drawings that way. Presentation drawings. This includes elevation drawings in color with landscaping. These are conceptual drawings for presentations of the building or homes. Such you see these in sales brochures. You see them when you walk into like a sales house or sales model, or you'll see pictures on the wall, and they've got renderings of the building with people walking their dogs in front of it. Those are presentation drawings. Those are not meant for construction. Then we have working drawings. See, these include all drawings required by various trades to complete a project. These drawings are technical and are intended to furnish all the necessary information required to erect a structure. Then we get into shop and assembly drawings. We talked about these quite a bit. Elevators drawings are an example of shop drawing. So shop drawing and assembly drawings are technical drawings prepared by various contractors, subcontractors, and suppliers to show how their particular product is to be assembled inside your structure. Oftentimes, they are also required for code. So if an elevator contractor wants to get a permit for his elevator, he's got to provide the local municipality with a set of your drawings as well as his shop drawings. Fire suppression contractors have to do the same thing in most jurisdictions. They're going to put in a sprinkler system, a fire suppression system. They have to provide their own shop drawings to the local municipality just to make sure that they have proper coverage. Specialized and miscellaneous drawings. There are numerous other drawings used by construction professionals, including furniture drawings, cabinet layouts, interior design drawings, you name it. Cabinet layouts are the most common, I'd say. Typically what happens is when you are building something, you would hire a cabinet company or say, hey, look, I need cabinets for the space. You provide them with the dimensions. They're going to do a shop drawing, present that to you and say, are these the cabinets you're looking for? You'll say, yes, boom, you're good to go. Civil drawings. These are drawings that show information about grading, landscaping, and utility locations. These drawings can also include roads, pipelines, limits of disturbance, boundaries, and property lines. Civil drawings are typically exterior drawings. They show how the structure will be placed on the land. And we talked about that a little bit. We talked about the difference between a plat and a plot plan. A plat will typically show an entire neighborhood, whereas a plot plan will show an individual plot of land. All right, elements of construction drawings. So we have our cover sheet, title blocks, index, pages, symbols or key, schedules, and scale. We're going to go through each one of those. Cover sheet, tons of information here. So we've got the name of our project, our product, project description, title blocks, code analysis, the project team, and general information. We're going to go through each one of these because this is super critical information to our project. So title blocks. Typically, you're going to find them vertically or horizontally on the plan. Just depends on the flavor of the architecture of the architect firm. So, but in the title block, you're going to find the name of the architect and engineer, the name of the owner, the name of the project, the revision date and number, the drawing title, and the drawing and sheet number. Let's break that down. So the name of the architect and engineer is super important. That the code officials are going to want to know who drew this. Make sure they're in good standing. They're going to need to be sealed by the architect or the engineer. The name of the owner, that is a responsible party on the job site, right? That tells the locals who to go to if there's a problem with this project. The name of the project, all your permits are going to have the name of the project. It's going to have to match your plans. The revision date and number is critical. As you develop these projects, details will change, structural elements will change, elevations will change, and you need to know what revision number you're working under, the date it was done, and the description of the revision. if a code enforcement official comes out to do an inspection and what he's on revision 4 with his plans and you're on revision 6, there's a problem. So anytime you make a revision, it needs to be submitted to the locals so that you're both on the same page. Then of course you have your drawing title, just tells you what's on that page, and then the drawing sheet, the drawing and sheet number tells you where you are. All right, the index. The index provides a quick reference point to locate the drawing or information you're looking for. Pay close attention to the pages at the beginning of the architectural section. They will give you tons of information about your project, including, obviously your symbols and abbreviations. That's every section will have that. Some will have a site vicinity map and address numbers. If you're dealing with a development with multiple buildings, you're going to need the addresses for each building listed in the plans. Code analysis, so you know what code you're working under, fire separation distances. If you're dealing with commercial or you've got some element of fire separation for your project, you're going to need those details. They're all UL listed, so they're going to be separated on your plans. Then you've got your general specifications talking about building heights, things like that. Again, your fire rated assemblies will all be on there, and you can see it says UL listings. All right, page lettering and their meanings. So A sheets, these are your architectural sheets. They contain required information on the size, material, and makeup of all members of a structure. Architecturals typically show floor plans, elevations, and section views. S sheets, your structural sheets, provide a view of the structural members of the building and show how they will support and transmit its loads to the ground. Structurals, as they're called, typically show foundation details, framing details, beam sizes and connectors, also wind bracing and additional engineering details. Mechanical sheets, your M sheets, mechanical sheet diagrams for ductwork payouts, the location of mechanical equipment, damper and diffuser locations and sizes, air delivery rates, your cubic feet per minute of air delivery through those diffusers, thermostat locations, as well as supplemental cooling information if it's required. You'll also find your manual J's in there, which is a breakdown of the heating and cooling capacity of the building and the equipment. E sheets, your electrical sheets, contain the electrical and communication systems for the building. They typically include the power layout, lighting plans, specialized systems such as alarm and security wiring, switching locations, as well as outlet locations. It's important to point out that your low voltage or your security wiring are typically delivered in a separate supplemental drawings. The architect doesn't always know where the speaker placement's going to be, where the cable outlets are going to be, where the security systems, the control boxes are going to be. So that would come as a separate supplemental drawing from your contractor. Typically, sometimes if it's a big commercial project, they already know where everything's going to go. It could be included. But a smaller project, typically they're going to come out as a supplemental drawing. Your P sheets, your plumbing sheets, contain pipe layouts, line sizes and locations, fixture locations, isolation valves, water heater locations and capacities, water supplies, and drainage locations. Symbols. All right. On the first page of each section, there's an information page with symbol legends, schedules, and information regarding the systems being built. These are critical. So as you're reviewing your plans, you come across something that a symbol that you don't understand, you quickly come to your symbol page. What the heck is that? Find the picture. There it is. Oh, that was a mixing valve. Or, oh, that's a water heater. Oh, that's a floor supply register. Okay, got it. It's very important to understand when you're doing your plan review, whether your diffusers are in the ceiling or on the floor. So you can quickly look at the diagram and say, oh, okay, I get it. That's in the ceiling, or nope, that's in the floor, because that's going to affect cabinets and things like that. Or if it's a decorated model or a decorated building, it's going to affect furniture layout. Anyway, so it's very important to be familiar with the symbols. All right, symbols designed as reference points. All right, these are reference points commonly found on structural pages, but there are reference points like this found in every section of the plans. Most are in structurals, but you'll find quite a few in architectural as well. They tell us where to find additional information about details we're viewing. I'll give you an example. All right, so here is a structural detail. So we've got this on the left side. We've just got this symbol giving us additional information for a 1-foot cantilever. This is super important because we need to know how to build this thing. So we're like, okay, I better go to detail number 7 on page S303. Come over here. I'm on detail 7, page S303. That's structural page 303. So it's a cantilever. Okay. And you can see this is my 1-foot cantilever. You can see the way your truss comes out, your floor truss comes out, blocking's in here. You've got your exterior wall, your exterior cladding, gives dimensions for everything, including my subfloor, the size of the exterior wall, 2x4 exterior wall where required, blah, blah, blah. Gives you all the details you need. It's fantastic. So anytime you see this, the top line is your detail number. The bottom is where you can find it. All right, changes to drawings. Revisions are identified inside bubble sections universally. If you're flipping through plans and you start seeing a bunch of bubbles, you know that there have been revisions to that plan. In this case, you can see tapered 2x12 joists at 12 inches on center. That was a change. It's change number 2, as a matter of fact. You know, here's another detail. And then this whole page was either added or revised. But it's important to know, okay, for revision number 1, they made some change on this page. So you can go back to your original set of plans, look and figure out what the change is. Typically you would get a schedule that would tell you exactly all the revisions that were on it. Also on the cover sheet, there should be a brief description of the changes that were made when you go from revision 1 through whatever with the dates. Schedules. All right. So schedule as applied to construction drawings is an organized method of presenting general notes or lists of materials. Schedules are typically in a tabulated form and list structural members such as beams, posts, and headers. Schedules also list windows, doors, MEP fixtures. You can get schedules for all types of things. But it's important to understand, you know, for structural, you have header schedule, you have shear wall schedule, loose lintel, which is for masonry work. This is a lighting fixture schedule. So if you have a project where it's heavy on lighting or whatever, you may have a list of all the different styles of lighting that's going to go in there, including the manufacturer, how it's mounted, you know, and a model number for it. Some schedules will even include pictures, depending on the level of detail. So here's an example of a post schedule. So you see we have this detail here. We have P1, P3. So we would go to S 401, I believe, and find our post schedule. Actually, that is not the case. I'm not sure what this S401 is for, but that's for this detail here. But at the beginning of our structural section, we would find our post schedule. And we could say, well, what the heck is a P1? Well, P1 is 2 2x4s or 2 2x6s, just depending on the size of the wall. You look down here, it does exactly nail each ply to the other with 16 penny nails at 8 inches on center. So this post schedule is going to tell us the size of our posts, you know, whether they're parallams, whatever, metal, wood, whatever. It's also going to tell us how to put them together. So each ply would be an additional 2x4 or 2x6. This will be on the final exam, identifying posts and headers. So scale, buildings are too large to be drawn actual size. Obviously, architects scale down the drawings to fit on the paper. Residential drawings are typically drawn to 1/4 inch per foot. Make sure if you are taking measurements from the set of plans, you are using the correct scale. It's always listed on the plans. It's on the cover sheet. It's on the individual plans. Always, always, always. All right. So here's the deal. I'm just going to say it again. So that is the multiple choice section. It's going to be everything we covered there. Then the second half of the final exam will have individual questions about plans themselves, the plans we've been using in class. You'll have questions about the plot plan we've been using in class. You'll also have questions about the architectural plans or the single family home plans we've been looking at. You'll have questions about the architecturals, the A sheets, and the structurals, the S sheets. Again, I'll try and get that exam out to you by the end of the week, by Friday. You'll have 2 weeks to do it. You can turn in half of it and then the second half, all of it at the same time. I don't care. As long as you hit the deadline, we're good to go. I will log on tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, probably only audio. Again, the following Monday, all the way until the end of class, I'll log on every Monday night. If you have any questions, we can work through it without giving you the answer. I'm happy to work through any questions you have for the final exam. All right, guys, have a fantastic Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you Monday night. Thanks. Bye.